Hey guys, this is Jay coming to you from 21st Century Reviews, bringing you another review for Star Trek, the official Starships collection by Eagle Moss, issue number 11, the USS Reliant, Starfleet registration number NCC 1864. I just got to go on record right off the jump by saying things about it. I mean, I can sit here and say it's a Miranda class. It's one of the original designs. The original Miranda, which is only usually seen in games such as like Star Trek Legacy, Star Trek Online, where you'll see it with the original cylindrical nacelle designs with no weapons platform on the top of it. Those are more so concept art. It's not to say that they're not canon. It's just generally speaking, when I do these, I generally go based off of what we've seen on film or in TV series. I don't generally go based off of just what happens to be in any number of other platforms that we see in like the games and other sorts of venues of that nature. But all honesty, it's a Miranda class light cruiser. Top speeds are, pretty comparable to the other Starfleet vessels of the time. The ship itself it's just iconic in the fact of, it's a vessel that squared off against the Enterprise in the late 2270s. No, excuse me, the 2280s is when that incident occurred. It's got a very simple design. It's twin nacelle, just like the Enterprise. They're housed underneath the ship instead of over the top of the ship. It's got a weapons pod platform on it that houses not only its phaser array but its photon torpedo bays. Honestly, to be fair, it's actually really, really good design in and of the sense of the fact that the torpedoes and the phaser array is all housed in one unit. The fact that it's got front and rear sighting capabilities in that aspect. It has twin shuttle bays that you actually don't really know about until you read the design specifications on it and everything. The shuttle bays are located right there, and then on the opposing side right there. The ship itself is just, I can't even describe it other than to just say it's awesome. This ship went head-to-head with the Enterprise. It ultimately is the ship that's, under the captaincy of Khan, is responsible for the death of one of Star Trek's greatest characters, being Spock. There's a lot I can really say about storyline with it. It is the variant that I shouldn't say the variant. It is the mainframe model for other ship designs, such as the Soyuz class, seen in Star Trek The Next Generation. When the Enterprise D is engaged in a conflict of time against a temporal causality loop. We see another variant of it in the USS Saratoga at the Battle of Wolf 359, where Commander Sisko was the executive officer of. I guess I look at this ship and I remember all the good action sequences that they used, the really good models in the 80s when they were filming Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. And to be honest, I'm going to say Eagle Moss captured the essence of this starship with perfection. The paint application is perfect. There is not one flaw in this model. The attention to the decaling details on even the smallest thing is all there. Every last centimeter of this model is exactly what it's supposed to look like. Whether it's the half rings on the saucer section that are visible from the top, and I'll see if I can kind of show what I'm talking about. There, you see the half rings on the top and everything, right on the flanking sides of the registration number. They're awesome. They're just awesome. The attentions to detail on the Aztecing, not only the physical Aztecing, but the decaled Aztecing, it's perfect. The model is perfectly symmetrical. If they had done this paint scheme for the 1701, the issue number 2, they would have actually had a lot better model. But of course they didn't, and that's why they didn't get very high marks from me. They went ahead and did the translucent and transparent nacelles that you can see perfectly through. They're perfectly encased. I literally can't see any seam work on this one. It's like they purposely took their time to really put the attention to detail on this thing. As I said before, the Aztecing on the saucer section is perfect. Like, perfect. Even the attention to detail on the aft section of the little blue dome that you see right here, it's right underneath the main photon torpedo housing and everything. And it was a clear blue I should say it was a clear blue glass dome that was located on the back of the Reliant in the movie, and you see it get struck by phaser fire from the Enterprise. It's right there. I mean, it's literally right there. They made it a point to pay that much attention to detail. I believe it's painted, but it's painted correctly, and it looks right. So I just got to go on record by saying, because usually speaking, I grade these things on painting, Aztecing, and detailing. They all get 5 out of 5. All of them, 5 out of 5. I can honestly say the magazine, read through it sufficiently. All the information in it was really relevant, and it stuck to the subject matter. Awesome. I like that. I really, really like that. This ship came out basically perfect. There's not one thing I dislike about this model. Every last inch of detail on this model is exactly what it's supposed to be and everything. So, I mean, rather than sit here and fill this video with just space filler and trying to, just basically eat up spare time, without further ado, this model actually gets 5 out of 5. It gets a top mark because there's literally nothing off with this model. It sits exactly like it's supposed to. Like I said, you can actually see it with my lighting scheme, the way it's set up and everything. You can actually see right through the nacelle housings with the LED lighting in the background, everything. The paint application on the impulse engines is actually relevant because it didn't need to be clear plastic in this one. It actually needed to be painted, and it is. The fact that the housing in the inner side of the photon torpedo housing on both the front and the aft sections is indented in, and it's painted to show contrast. How cool is that? I mean, literally, there's absolutely zero I have to say negative about it. I mean, heck, I'll even pull it off the stand here for a second, just to point out that even on the bottom, the details are super duper crisp. Look at that. I mean, even the bottom of the ship, the part you really don't see, even though on my display shelves you really see it, everything, it's amazing. It's immaculate. There's nothing wrong with it at all. And here's the top of it. I literally can't say anything negative about it. Not one thing. Everything. So again, I'm going to go on record by saying a 5 out of 5 grading on this particular model. Not one thing wrong with it. I love it. It's great. I was super duper happy to get to see this one and everything whenever it was made. So again, we end it with saying questions, comments, concerns. Please make sure and put them in the comments section. Make sure you like and subscribe. We're actually starting to build a fan base. I've got subscribers. I am so close to finally hitting 10. And I know for a lot of YouTubers that sounds like, wow, dude, 10 whole subscribers. Wow, don't hurt yourself. But for me, it's huge. I'm starting to actually get people who are interested in these things. And to me, it's awesome. It's so awesome. I thank you all for your support. I do appreciate the fact that there are some actual Facebook fans coming out of the woodwork. They're actually commenting on things. We're actually starting to interact a little bit, and I absolutely adore that. So thank you for all your support. Thank you for being, with me on this journey, and hey, I'll see you next time, guys.